I'm here with my kids, Ellen, Brian, and Hannah. We're here today to talk about their grandfather and how they feel about having a mother who's had sexual abuse history. My question to you guys is, do you feel it was the right decision in telling you?
Yeah, I do. I thought it was good that you told us.
Do you think parents with a history of sexual abuse should tell their children?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be made aware.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it could be destructive to the family, create chaos in the family by telling them, though?
I think it can, but I think, they should know, and I think, you should be able to share your struggles with them, and maybe they'll have more insight into you and kind of your past as well. And then, I don't know, I think it's just good to know. That's what families are for, right?
Mm-hmm. They can be there to support you. It's also kind of a preventative measure for them to hear what you're going through and recognize that it's not something that should be happening.
Did it change your mind about your grandfather, Hannah?
Yeah, I think I had to look at him in a different light. I think it's probably a natural part of it. I think, I still love him because he is my grandfather, but obviously he's very flawed. Yeah, it's kind of a conflicting feeling, I suppose.
Brian, did it change your relationship with your grandfather?
Not really. It sort of did. I sort of looked at him more like someone who should have faced criminal charges for what he has done and should have been tried for that.
So you feel that your grandfather should have been charged?
Yeah.
What do you think the outcome of that should have been?
It could be probation. It could be restrictions, not allowing him to go near elementary schools.
I think it's hard to answer that question because it's so circumstantial based on if somebody's related to you or if they're close to you. You're obviously not going to want to see them go through any harm, even if they've done harm to somebody else. But if they're a stranger and they've done that, I feel like they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, whatever that may be.
It's just a little bit harder because you know this person. He's
Right.
been in your life. And
So you feel
it's hard
sad
to
for
step
them.
up. Yeah, I
Instead
could
of-
totally see that.
Yeah.
For his crimes, I don't think there should be any reason you should feel sad if you got prosecuted.
Well, that's true. He did it. And he did it multiple times.
Yeah.
So he's obviously not feeling very sorry about it.
Absolutely.
Ellen, so when I told you everything, and I know it was really hard for you to digest it. You were kind of like silent. You didn't want to talk about it. You didn't want to see him for a while. You needed to process it. So after I told you all that, how did that make you feel?
I was angry.
I remember that.
Yeah. I still am.
It's fair.
Yeah. I feel more sad for him that he thinks that's okay, But I think that's because I know him. So I feel sad like he needs help versus somebody who I don't know. I'm just angry. I would just be angry at that person.
Do you feel embarrassed by this? Do you think your friends would judge you? Do you feel...
No, I'm not embarrassed or anything. I'm just someone who you should not be inspired by or interested in talking about. Yeah.
So when a victim is out there and they say they've been sexually abused and they don't have proof of video, do you believe them?
I think I would typically always side with believing them unless there was some extreme circumstance why I would doubt the person or their character. But I don't think people typically make that up. That's a really painful memory, I would imagine. So,
Allie, how do you feel about that?
That's a pretty serious accusation. Somebody saying it, I'm pretty inclined to believe it. But like Hannah said, it just depends on the person.
Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, just believe them. If they seem like they're serious, believe them.
So how do you think this video will help other people?
Just sexual abuse awareness, taking advice of our opinions and what we think, and anyone who else who has been a victim of sexual abuse can think about their problems and probably try to overcome them.
So should I forgive my father? Helen?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Maybe you don't ever forgive him completely, like saying it's okay that you did that, because I don't think it's ever going to be okay that he did that to you. But I think forgiving in the sense of, you know, letting go, and like maybe forgiving just letting go and not letting it haunt you and weigh you down, like not maintaining anger. I think that's good that you can let that anger go, because then I feel like the anger only holds you back and you spend more time worrying about all the emotions.
Let's say you guys are parents. How do you feel about that if it was your child?
I mean, I think it's easier said than done. I don't know how I would feel, but I think at this point, I think I would probably cut off communication with that person, and I would hope that I could, you know, let go and not let the anger haunt me. But I don't think I would be able to care for that person after all. Like how you care for Opa in, you know, his like dying days. I think that's amazing that you can do that. I don't know if I'd be able to, but I would try to, you know, at least let go and forgive in that way.
I wouldn't have helped him at all. And I think that's because he knew what he did and he owned his title, so to speak. And so he kind of owned that persona, and I don't think that's okay. So I would have just cut him off and been done.
Has any of this taught you anything or told you anything about the world?
That there are disturbed and sick people out there.
There are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I second that.
Anything else?
That sometimes the people, like how Opa, I don't know if he didn't realize he was doing you harm, but in some twisted way, he didn't think it was bad, and like just how people can interpret things in really kind of crazy ways, even though like in a normal setting, you'd think he was totally sane and normal, but deep down he's not. So it's just, I don't know. There's just like sometimes like demons inside people, which I don't know. It's just interesting.
So for other children, for other families out there, do you have any advice for them? Do you have any advice for them about how to handle this in a family?
I would say, you know, be accepting of how the person wants to handle the situation. You know, like with your situation with Opa, I know some people have told you that they don't agree with how you approach it and they don't think you should talk to him, but I feel like, you know, it's how you cope with it, and you should be supportive of that and what makes that person feel better and what puts them at peace with kind of what happened. Or if they want to cut them off entirely, then support them there too. But I think it's all about supporting that person.
What do you think, Ellie?
I think the same thing. I've told you this before. I wouldn't have taken care of him at all, and just because our opinions on it are different doesn't mean that I should support you any less, because you're the person who went through it, you know? So that's the important thing, is that you know that we're here for you, regardless of what we think.
I would not support him either. I wouldn't bring him from one state to close, right around by me. And due to his crimes and behavior, I would have just left him in Carmel.
Not even in an elderly state?
No, wherever he was in Carmel, I would have just left him and gave him little to no communication.
Okay. No. You know, there's no right or wrong answer in this. It's really just truly how you feel in your heart and what you could live with, and you know, you just do your best and just go through it. But I do want to say thank you guys for doing this. It means the world to me. Love you guys.